Welcome to Hudson High School and the inaugural home game for the boys basketball team here at the brand new gymnasium in Hudson. It is a great looking facility, and we are very happy to be here and bring you tonight's opener. It's the home opener. It is the conference opener for the Raiders as they host the River Falls Wildcats. The starters for River Falls: Adam Fireeisen, Mike Vitt, Tyler Terrell, J.T. Doherty, and Zach Johnson. And here are the starters for Hudson. At guard, 6-foot senior Peyton Reese. Landon Bilsey, a 6-foot senior guard, starting tonight as well. Luke Healy, only a sophomore, had 15 points the last time out. Jacob Dalton, one of the captains, the leading scorer last time out with 17 points, 6'2" senior. And Kaiser Helterbrand, senior captain. Your starting five for Hudson tonight: Wildcats and Raiders. Third game of the season for both teams. River Falls comes in with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, 0-1 in the Big Rivers Conference. Hudson is a 2-0 coming into play tonight. Both games they have played so far this season against teams from Minnesota. A 94-68 win over Hastings. Last time out on Tuesday, a 79-70 win over Park of Cottage Grove. River Falls, ironically, their lone win this season also against a Minnesota team. They defeated St. Paul Johnson 69-43 in their opener before the defending conference champions. Eau Claire North knocked them off 62-39 Tuesday night. A very ugly second half for River Falls in that one, and off the tap we get a jump ball. And we'll come back to midcourt and do it all over again. Hilterbrand and Doherty on the tap. Hilterbrand taps it back, and Hudson, this time cleanly with possession. Healy up top, kicks it to the outside. Reese brings it up top. Now swung over for Jacob Dalton. Up top is Hilterbrand. Looking for some space was Bilsey. A three on the way off the front iron, goes up. Hilterbrand, the offensive rebound, goes back up. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled. He'll shoot two for the Raiders. Foul on Zach Johnson, his first, team's first. And Hilterbrand's first attempt rims around and out. The second, nothing but net. And River Falls with their opening possession. Full court press and tapped out of bounds that time by Jacob Dalton. Taylor Terrell on the inbounds here for River Falls. This time gets it in cleanly for Zach Johnson. Terrell this time tries near side. Fireeisen. Picked up defensively by Bilsey. They swing it near side. Mike Vitt with it. Vitt hands it off. Zach Johnson. Johnson with 32 points for River Falls in their opening victory. Held to just 9 against Eau Claire North. 3-point specialist. He's deadly from deep. Fireeisen on the far side, looking for some space is Terrell. Up top for Fireeisen. Feiereisen drives down the lane, and he'll go all the way uncontested, lays it in, and River Falls has the 2-1 lead. Across the timeline, Jacob Dalton gives it up for Helterbrand. Helterbrand kicks it out. Reese up top. Luke Healy swings it near side now. Landon Bilsey down low and freed himself up, and laying it in is Luke Healy. So the sophomore with his first two. He had 15 the last time out, and Hudson's on top, 3-2. Johnson drives to the free throw line. The lefty up and off, and the rebound cleared by Jacob Dalton. Bilsey across the timeline. Dalton swings it far side. Reese for Helterbrand. Bounce pass, but cutting was Dalton. The pass behind him out of bounds. Turnover gives the ball back to River Falls. Terrell in for Johnson, and that is tapped out of bounds by Helterbrand. The bleacher creatures here in Hudson calling for a whiteout tonight, and across the way you can see plenty of them in white, just to the right of the mid-court stripe. Still not quite out of football season for you folks. Sorry about that, as we'll get a foul. Trying to go up was Terrell, but he's fouled by Peyton Reese. His first, Hudson's first. Terrell will shoot two here for River Falls. Speaking of football, these two teams played a great one here in Hudson to kick off the Big Rivers Conference football season. Hudson handed River Falls their only loss of the regular season, 28-27. Terrell hits them both. Wildcats are up 4-3. They swing it around near side. Bilsey, and they're going to call him for a travel. Another turnover on Hudson. River Falls will throw in right in front of their bench. Johnson says clear out. He'll bring it up on Luke Healy. Tapped into the air and forced the turnover quickly up ahead. Reese on the drive, and he's stripped from behind. Mike Vitt reached in to knock it away. Feiereisen across the timeline, gives it to Vitt. Up top now for Terrell. Near side, Feiereisen. Vitt, top of the key, pulls it back. Feiereisen to Vitt. Patient offense here from River Falls. Vitt left open for a three, now drives, kicks it out, three on the way, and it rattles home for J.T. Doherty. 7-3 Wildcats. Doherty averaging 9, knocks down a three to give River Falls the biggest lead of the game. Bilsey kicks it out and gets it back from Helterbrand near side now. Dalton. Helterbrand, top of the key. Healy drives, pulls back, off balance shot off the back iron. Rebound goes to Vitt. Obviously a long rivalry, not just in football but in basketball, between these two teams in the Big Rivers Conference. It's been a little one-sided over the last few years as River Falls comes in with a 3-game winning streak in the series. They have won 7 of the last 8 between these two teams. Kicked into the corner, 3 on the way from Terrell, and that is no good. And going up strong for the rebound was Hilterbrand. He was fouled. They get Mike Vitt on the foul, his first, team second. Paul Sparstead and Charlie Neuenschwander check in here for Hudson. Reese and Dalton check out. 7-3 Wildcats. Nice entry pass. Hilterbrand goes up strong and lays it in. His first 2. Well, he's got 3 now, actually. Cuts the lead in half at 7-5 River Falls. Fireheisen quickly into the front court. A little hesitation on Sparstead. The cutter down the lane. A beautiful feed and a beautiful finish from J.T. Doherty. He's got 5. And it's 9-5 River Falls. Up top, long 3 off the rim, no good. And the rebound picked up by Fireheisen. Paul Sparstead's first attempt. Just off the mark. Fireheisen to the free throw line, picks up his dribble. Into the lane, stopping and popping from 15, Zach Johnson. His first 2 tonight, it's 11-5 River Falls. Hudson down low, beautiful cut, beautiful feed. Healy just couldn't finish from in close. Vitt the rebound for River Falls. Fireheisen to the left wing for Vitt. And that pass stolen away by Hilterbrand. He hustles into the front court, and he is fouled by Zach Johnson. Second on Johnson. And the third on the River Falls. Substitutions for the Wildcats is Mike Johnson and Liam Doherty check in. Taylor Terrell and Zach Johnson check out. Johnson could be a hurtful loss here if he has to sit in foul trouble for River Falls. Hilterbrand goes down and lays it in. Hilterbrand has 5. It's 11-7 River Falls. Now in the front court, J.T. Doherty up top, Fireheisen. Mike Johnson picks up the dribble, needs some help. Out top, Fireheisen down low, and all alone there is Mike Johnson to lay it in. Nice assist from Fireheisen. 13-7 Wildcats. And the entry pass intended for Hilterbrand skips out of bounds. Turnover on Hudson. 10:05 to play here in the opening half. It is 13-7 River Falls. Jacob Dalton will check back in for Hudson, replacing Kaiser Hilterbrand. Fireheisen has to hustle across the mid-court stripe. Luke Healy there defensively. On the drive, Doherty lays it in. He was fouled on the way through. And he'll go to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. J.T. Doherty has 7. Paul Sparstead called on the foul. And Doherty completes the three-point play. He's got 8. The lead for River Falls expands at 16-7 Wildcats. And one of the things looking at these two teams, Hudson, not a lot of length, not a lot of height on this year's squad. And River Falls, a couple of 6'8" players, a couple of 6'5" players. Tallest player on the Hudson roster, 6'4". He has the rebound there, cleared by Liam Doherty. Liam and JT Doherty, both sophomores. Vitt with it. Mike Johnson up top. JT Doherty gives it up for Vitt. Sets the screen. Vitt couldn't drive on Dalton. Kicks it out. Mike Johnson into the lane. Goes up and gets the roll off the front rim. And everything River Falls is putting up is finding the bottom of the hoop. Johnson has 4. It's 18-7 River Falls. On the drive, Dalton goes in and lays it in. Dalton's first 2 of the night. Full court press here from Hudson, broken as Vitt dribbles it across and now gives it up for Fireisen. And his pass behind Johnson out of bounds. Hudson basketball with 8:16 left to play. JT Doherty checks out. Taylor Terrell back in for River Falls. To the free throw line, nice little dump pass, and Neuenschwander fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Mike Vitt called for the foul on River Falls, his second. Neuenschwander hits the first. Here comes the second. Off the front rim, and the rebound knocked out of bounds. It is Hudson basketball. 18-10 our score, 8:01 left to play in the opening half. Bills it inbounds for the Raiders. Gets it in. Mateo Renta on the court for his first time, and that is knocked out of bounds by Fireisen. River Falls fans seem to disagree with that. It seemed quite obvious. Up top, Reese kicked further out for Renta, and we get an offensive foul call on Hudson. Landon Bilsey picks up the foul, his first. Third on the Raiders. Vitt on the double team, throws across court. And unable to hold that one in was Fireisen. The turnover gives it back to Hudson. Renta hands it off. Bilsey to the far side. Reese. Now Dalton. Up top. Reese. Near side driving to Renta. Kicks it out. Now driving in. The shot off the glass. No good from Bilsey. The follow from Renta. No good. And the offensive board by Peyton Reese. Raiders reset. They kick it near side. Neuenschwander drives in with the left hand. And it off the glass, off the rim a couple times. No good. And a foul call on Hudson. They'll get Neuenschwander. That's his first. Hilterbrand and Healy check back in here for Hudson. 7:16 to play, opening half, 18-10 River Falls. Wildcats throw in from beneath their basket. Again, full court pressure and thrown into the front court. Johnson drives into the lane, kicks it back out. Long three from Terrell, no good. Hilterbrand on the rebound. He was coming up court, fouled from behind in the backcourt. Mass substitutions here for River Falls. Mike Johnson called for the foul. That's his first. Fifth on River Falls. On the cut, Healy kicks it back out. Reese, bounce pass for Hilterbrand. Tries to drive in, has it knocked away by Michael Tiffany, and Tiffany able to save it in and saved all the way back here for J.T. Doherty and brought into the front court by Zach Johnson. Mike Vitt up top, gives it up for Tiffany. Into the corner. Terrell, now Vitt. Vitt down low, and that's knocked away, and Hilterbrand kicks it to the outside, but behind Bilsey, out of bounds. The turnover gives it back to River Falls with 6:23 left to play in the half. Zach Johnson near side, gets it back from Terrell. They got to get it over the timeline, and Johnson does that. Terrell goes to the baseline, gets cut off, kicks it back for Doherty. Now Johnson swings it around for Vitt. Vitt hands it off. Zach Johnson stops and pops top of the key. That's no good, and the rebound picked up by Peyton Reese. Reese ahead for Hilterbrand and into the front court. To the baseline, and he was kind of knocked out of bounds. Michael Tiffany picks up his first foul for River Falls. That's their sixth, though. Any fouls now, the remainder of the half on River Falls will send the Raiders to the line, and in fact, they'll send Hudson to the line on this one. So Hilterbrand to shoot a 1-and-1. The first, nothing but net. Hilterbrand has 6. 18-11 River Falls, and Hilterbrand will get the second. Second rolls around and drops. Hilterbrand has 7. The lead is 6 for River Falls, and again the full court pressure from Hudson. Broken by the Wildcats as Vitt brings it across. Terrell looking for options. Finds Tiffany, goes baseline, pulls up the block, kicks it out. Vitt all alone for 3. Off the rim, no good. Tipped up, but Tiffany over the back of Hilterbrand is called for his second foul, and Hilterbrand back to the line for Hudson to shoot a 1-and-1. 5:23 to play in the half. 18-12 River Falls. Hilterbrand again hits the first, he'll get the second. And he hits them both. Hilterbrand now with 9 of the 14 Hudson points. And the Raiders as close as they've been for some time. 18-14 River Falls. Quickly into the front court. Terrell now for Vitt. Tiffany watched by Hilterbrand. Up top for Zach Johnson. Vitt on the near side, watched by Reese. So we got a timeout call here from River Falls, their first of the half. 4:58 to play in the opening half. It's River Falls 18, Hudson 14.
Well, Joe, Football is over, and now we're on to basketball, and this is an exciting new venture for Hudson Broadcasting. We had our first game a week ago for the girls, and they had an opening loss against Chippewa Falls, and this has been talked about for a couple years, and it's still a work in progress. We hope to continue to build the production, but here we are, and thanks to the Hudson Basketball Association and local sponsors, we'll continue to mention them as we go here, but the first step in many steps in really bringing this Hudson basketball program, the broadcasting that has been lacking in past years.
The familiar voice of John Weck, and he's running camera tonight as well. John has been rather busy behind the scenes, as he always is. Feiereisen at the top of the key. Gives it up for Tiffany. Ball fake. Kicks it back out. Feiereisen resets. On the block. Into the lane. Doherty tried to force up the shot. And he was fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line to shoot two. They got Kaiser Helterbrand on the foul. That's his first. Team's fifth. JT Doherty to the line. He's got 8 tonight already for the Wildcats. And the first is too strong. Doherty's second, again off the front iron. Helterbrand with the rebound into the front court, going end to end, forces it up, and he was fouled. They'll get the blocking foul on Feiereisen. And Helterbrand back to the line. He's been busy from there tonight. First on Feiereisen.
He was a man on a mission coming off that defensive rebound, and he was going to drive to the bucket. Of course, you recall Kaiser Helterbrand, the quarterback from our football team this year.
The first is down. He's got 10. And he can cut the lead to 2 if he makes this one. Front rim doesn't get the roll, knocked around. Offensive rebound going up strong, but can't get it to drop was Luke Healy. And the defensive rebound for Feiereisen. 18-15 our score. Tiffany on the block for Doherty. Little jump hook, rims around and out. Rebound tapped around, comes to Landon Bilsey. Into the front court for Reese. Up top Dalton, and he'll just reset things. Reese calls out the play. They swing it around for Bilsey. Reese into the corner. Healy gives it up for Helterbrand. He'll go baseline, and he was fouled on the way by JT Doherty. First on Doherty, and it sends Helterbrand right back to the free throw line.
He has probably been fouled more times than the rest of the team combined. It's got to be. It's got to be.
And the first is good. Hudson in the double bonus here with 3:53 left to play. Tiffany checks out. Mike Johnson back in for River Falls. And the second from Helterbrand is good. He has got 12 of the 17 for Hudson. It's a 1-point ball game. 18-17 River Falls. Zach Johnson gives up the dribble and now gets it right back from Terrell. They do get it across the timeline. Forcing one up was Feiereisen, blocked out of bounds. Luke Healy got that one from behind. Throw in River Falls. Johnson drives to the block. Doesn't want to give up this dribble, and finally kicks it out for Feiereisen. The cutter Johnson with the left hand gets it to drop. Johnson has 4 Wildcats. Lead back to 3 at 20-17. Helterbrand for Dalton. Back for Helterbrand. Dalton long 3 on the way off the front rim. No good, and the rebound cleared by Mike Johnson. Into the front court for Zach Johnson. A long 3 from him, and he hits. Transition 3. Johnson has 7. The lead back to 6 for River Falls.
See if Hudson can close this gap in the final 3 minutes.
And tapped out of bounds by Mike Johnson. Possession remains with Hudson. Up top, and Healy fouled as he started to drive. Taylor Terrell, the foul, his first. Healy to shoot 2 for Hudson. The first is good. And that's the first point from Hudson outside of Kaiser Helterbrand in a long time here in this half, John.
Absolutely. He's been a one-man show. A couple nice free throws there by Healy.
Healy has 4, 23-19, River Falls. Vitt gives up the dribble, kind of dangerous. Yeah. Gets it ahead, Feiereisen back for Vitt. He'll drive to the free throw line, kicks it back out. Feiereisen watched by Dalton to the far side. Johnson, he's got the hot hand. Now Vitt will drive to the block. Forced back by Dalton. Feiereisen drives into the lane, stops, gets the shot away. No good. Mike Johnson, the offensive board. It doesn't go, but he was fouled.
This Johnson's proving to be quite a player here. And as you mentioned before, we'll talk about this at halftime. The Wildcats definitely have a size advantage. I mean, that's clear. And Hudson's just going to have to outwork them, out-hustle them, ball movement, and shooting because they have an inside advantage with the height.
Peyton Reese picks up his second for Hudson. Johnson's first free throw is good. Substitutions for both teams. Paul Sparstad checks back in for the Raiders, replacing Reese. And Liam Doherty checks in, replacing J.T. Doherty. Johnson hits them both. He's got 6. The lead is back to 6 for the Wildcats as we approach 2 minutes to play in the opening half. Bilsey kicks it out. Healy. Entry pass. Helterbrand tries to go down low. Got blocked from behind by Vitt. Challenged on the front side by Doherty. That allowed Vitt to come from the backside and block it. Now Vitt has to pick up the dribble. And he finds Feiereisen.
Good perimeter defense, denying that passing lane. There it is.
Tipped away by Dalton. Dalton trying to break free. Vitt back defensively, but Dalton drives and lays it in.
Good move by Jacob that time coming off that steal.
25-21, River Falls. Dalton has 4 now for Hudson. He tried to come up on the double team, but Feiereisen races into the front court. Feiereisen drives into the lane, picks up the dribble, triple team kicked out for Vitt. He drives in, goes up high over Dalton and gets it to go.
Good athletic move.
First points of the night for Mike Vitt, and now stolen away by River Falls. They'll slow it down, just 30 seconds left to play in the half. The lead at 6 for the Wildcats. Zach Johnson directs traffic, basically clears out. He drives on Healy. Bounce pass on the inside. Doherty lays it in. Liam Doherty's first points of the night. Hudson at the buzzer off the front rim and no good. 18 minutes in the books here in Hudson. Your score, River Falls 29 and Hudson at 21 as you watch boys basketball here on HudsonBroadcast.com. Joe Moore along with John Wecken with you this evening. I'm glad to have you along with us. Opening game of the brand new gymnasium here in Hudson.
It is, and it's a long time coming, a definite step up from the old gym. It's well lit. You got seating capacity of probably, 12 to 1,300, maybe more. Wonderful new floor, obviously, and there's been a lot building to this. It was talked about, and I've been asked for a couple of years to bring basketball into the broadcasting mix. You and I have done Hudson football for some 8 years now, and it's very very exciting to add this to the mix here. We're going to do 19 games. We did our first game a week ago with the girls game, 10 boys games, 9 girls games, so we're pretty 50-50 there, and then with the playoffs to follow. And there's some excitement with this Hudson boys program. Now, traditionally through the years, the last 20, 25 years, really the girls have been the stronger of the two programs. In fact, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and fans of Hudson basketball will know this, that they went to the state tournament 6 times in 8 years. Under Coach Dave Johnson, had a couple championships and then a runner-up. But they're probably a little bit down this year. I think when it's all said and done, I think they're going to win more games than they're going to lose. But the expectation seems to be a little bit higher this year for the boys team, with some key seniors coming back from last year, and a team last year that was pretty good. And a few years ago, Hudson really had a tough season. They were on the basement of the Big Rivers Conference, and they think there's some people in the know around here that thinks they can challenge for the conference championship this year.
Yeah, Hudson has had very limited success on the boys' side of the basketball court over recent years. I believe, John, and correct me if I'm wrong, you probably have to go back maybe 6, maybe even 8 years since the last time that they've won a conference championship here in Hudson. So, certainly heightened expectations this year. It's always fun to open up a brand new gymnasium nice shiny new toy to play with. It's phenomenal, and it seems like it wasn't that long ago, John, we were talking about the bond referendum that might make something like this a reality, and but it's been several years in the making, and here we are finally getting to do this.
Well, like I said, it's been a long time coming, and it's a lot of things had to happen, a lot of people doing a lot of things behind the scenes, and thank you really to the citizens and the taxpayers and in Hudson and voting in the referendum. It was voted down the first time, and they kind of took out a few things and went back at it the second time, and it was passed, and it's really been a pretty prolonged process. It's a massive project. I mean, it's not building a new school, but it's significantly renovating and remodeling the existing school that was built in, I believe, 74 or 75, maybe even 76, some 40-plus years ago. And, it's a gathering place for community. You'll see up here you have a walking track, a video scoreboard. If somebody would have told me when I was in high school 30 years ago you were going to have a video scoreboard in football and in basketball, being from a small school up north, I would have said you're nuts. But, beautiful video scoreboard here off to my left. And, it's really a showpiece for the community. And glad to be here. This is the second of 15 home games we're going to do this year. We're going to have 4 road games as well. And thank you for coming on board. You and I have done football all these years, and now we're transitioning over to basketball.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for having me along, John, and it's great to be back with everybody and welcoming in a brand new audience with the basketball fans out there, as John mentioned, and I'm sure most of you have probably watched the football broadcast over the last 8 years, but it is tremendous to be inside and warm on a cold night in a basketball gymnasium as opposed to some of the conditions we see, especially late in the football season, but it's just wonderful to be out here. It's fun to see the community come out and support this as well. Obviously, John, I haven't been around to see what the basketball seasons have been like here in Hudson over the last several years, but especially tonight. You mentioned, it is a large gymnasium. We can certainly fill this thing up, and not a bad crowd here for opening night for the boys.
Well, you go back to the River Falls Hudson football game, Labor Day weekend. It seems so long ago now, and I suppose it was. Think of the crowd you had for that on a pretty nice night. River Falls and Hudson are about, 12 miles apart. They have a history that goes back, many, many years. The jug game for football, they compete in boys and girls basketball. They compete in baseball and softball and hockey, and it's like, if you and I have done all these games in the Twin Cities prior to getting the Hudson thing going. It's when Woodbury plays East Ridge, Lakeville South plays Lakeville North, Bloomington Jefferson plays Kennedy, Eastview plays Apple Valley. These schools are geographically close. The students usually know each other. A lot of times they hang out in the same places, and it's true. The winner gets bragging rights, for the year. And, the football game, that was probably the most exciting game of the 10 we did this year. Yes. And credit River Falls, who lost that game in tough fashion, ran the table after that, got their first conference championship, I believe, since 1989. Hudson had a fine season as well. They didn't meet in the playoffs because they're two different divisions, but it was the first game really out of the 8 years we've done it that was a competitive game, a competitive jug game, and Hudson was very fortunate to come out on top on that. So congratulations to the Wildcats and the conference championship. And again for football, those of you that watched football, a 7-3 season, very good. It was tough to lose in the playoff opener, and I'm still kind of living that down a little bit, all this time later. And Coach Adam Cowles is right over there. I see him getting up. He's here with their kids and taking in. Of course, he knows a lot of these ball players out there. His football players that are multi-sport athletes, which is great to see. And, it's as far as this game, Hudson fell in a hole there early, down by 8. They closed the gap to within 2. And Kaiser Helterbrand is a comparable basketball player to what he is a football player. Obviously, you can see that leading and scoring. You can go over the numbers. But Hudson, I think, needs to rebound better. They are at a height disadvantage. If you're giving River Falls 2 and 3 chances on offensive possessions and not boxing out, it's going to be tough to overcome that. But, they're definitely within striking distance, and it was a pretty good game. It's early in the year. Things get better. And a month from now, both of these teams will be better. You'll see less turnovers, less misses, and that's, that kind of thing, just like any other sport.
No doubt about it. As we look at the first half, Kaiser Helterbrand did lead the way for Hudson. He scored 12 of the 21 Raider points in the first half. A little more balance on the River Falls side, as John mentioned. Quite the height advantage. You've got, and I look at this River Falls roster, they're not necessarily a senior-laden team. They're a young team, and it's a River Falls program that's had some mixed success over the years, and I'll tell you, Liam Doherty, JT Doherty, both of them 6'8", both of them sophomores. And JT Doherty leading the way. He's got 8 points tonight for River Falls. Zach Johnson, 7. Mike Johnson with 6. Mike Johnson, he's just a junior. Zach Johnson, another sophomore. So this is a River Falls team that obviously performing well here tonight against Hudson in the opener here in the new gymnasium. But these are some names, John, as we continue to do this and as we continue to provide this broadcast for the basketball fans out there. Here's some River Falls names that we're going to become very familiar with over the next couple of years, as they are a rather young team.
Well, they got size. They can shoot. You can rebound, move the ball around. You and I have both seen players, and I can think of one in particular over at St. Thomas Academy. He was 6'8", but he just, didn't have much of a shot, and he was kind of slow and not very well coordinated. These guys are an athletic 6'8". And it will only get better with time as they continue on the footwork and the medium range shot. And what's so key with the big guy, and Hudson just doesn't really have that marquee big guy this year, at least not right now, is to be able to knock down the free throws, particularly in the second half in the closing 5 minutes. I call it the Shaquille O'Neal effect. It doesn't take much long to figure out if your big guy can't shoot the free throw line. If they're going to him, it's the old hack-a-shack mentality, and you put him at the free throw line, and if you're a 35% free throw shooter, that makes it tough. And so we'll have to see. But that's always something you wonder with the big guys. If you can be a big guy that's athletic and can consistently knock down your free throws, you're a dangerous weapon.
Teams are back on the court, warming up here prior to the second half. River Falls does lead Hudson 29-21 here as we will begin quarter or half number 2 here shortly. Looking ahead, as John mentioned, 19 games between boys and girls, 10 boys games, and Hudson will not be back here for a couple of weeks, John, as they hit the road for a couple of Big Rivers Conference games. They've actually got a full week off before they're back in action. They will travel to the defending champions, Eau Claire North, next Friday night. Yeah,
the Eau Claire North Huskies, that's the dog pound over there. And they had a very solid team last year. I don't know what they're like this year, but Eau Claire North, when we've done football this year, the football program really struggles. But they've had some good basketball teams in recent years, so we'll have to see. It'd be good to go on the road and knock off the defending conference champion next week, but right now they got to try to take care of business versus River Falls.
As we begin half number 2, it will be River Falls to inbound the basketball, moving from right to left. Terrell brings it in. Fireisen will bring it across the timeline. Reese on him defensively. Down low for Vitt. Goes baseline, but they'll get Landon Bilsey on the blocking foul, his second. Quick foul on Hudson, their first of the half.
Of course, something new this year is our embedded scoreboard, which is literally coming right off the scoreboard here in the gymnasium for the device that embeds it in the video. Hopefully you enjoy that.
Inside out, the three from JT Doherty. He hits. He's got a couple of threes in this one, and Doherty now with 11.
As a Hudson fan, I did not enjoy that, but it was a good shot.
Down low, Reese turns around, too strong with the left hand. A rebound goes to Terrell. So suddenly the Wildcats match their largest lead of the game, but Vitt mishandles it out of bounds. Basketball to Hudson. 32-21 our score.
Yeah, if you're the Raiders, you don't want to fall in. They're already in a double-digit hole. You don't want to go down, 15, 16 points. Keep that gap to single digits.
Bilsey kicks it out on the drive, and getting fouled going up strong was Luke Healy. Healy only a sophomore, so there's another name that will become very familiar with over the next couple of years. He'll shoot 2 here for Hudson.
I believe he's the son of Brian Healy, who's one of the key members of the Hudson Basketball Association that's partnering with Hudson Broadcast to get this basketball broadcasting program up and running. I want to thank everybody involved with them for working with us. I know we've talked about this for a while, and it's become a reality, and we'll only get better as we continue to work with it and improve. And it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Healy hits the first. Second rims around and out. Strong offensive rebound. Hilterbrand can't get the shooter's touch.
When you're down double digits, you got to get those to go down.
Fireisen, his pass intercepted by Dalton, who in turn has his pass knocked out of bounds by JT Doherty. So Hudson to inbounds in the backcourt, trailing by 10. Bilsey up top. Dalton swings it around. Reese. Dalton will drive down the right side of the lane. Lays it up and in. Jacob Dalton has 6. And it's 32-24 River Falls. Raiders again on that
nice trap.
Full court press. Now they'll back off. Vitt gets it across. Double team steps through. Mike Johnson goes baseline. Spins back. Another threat away, and that is a no good from Zach Johnson. Rebound Jacob Dalton. Front court for Bilsey. Healy entry pass. Hilterbrand quickly goes up, and this time gets it He's got a game-high 14.
Well, Hudson doesn't have that, big 6'5", 6'6" post player. Helterbrand's probably the closest they have to it. Nice low block entry pass, and he sealed it.
The lead at 6 for River Falls. Johnson down low, all alone and missing the easy lay-in was J.T. Doherty, but the follow from Mike Johnson.
If you're the Raiders, you got to box out better than that. You got to out-hustle the taller team. That offensive board was, wide open.
Healy drops it off. Hildebrand goes up, gets it to go, and he was fouled.
Well, like Heiser Hildebrand did with time and again at the football season, he's kind of taken this team on his back, scoring-wise here.
J.T. Doherty picks up his second. Hildebrand will try to complete the three-point play. Off the front rim, no good, and the rebound to Feiereisen. Hildebrand was 16 on the night. Raiders only have 28. Now Bilsey with the steal. Bilsey to the left on the drive. Healy can't get it to go. Followed. Hildebrand, no, but he is fouled, and he goes back to the line again.
Well, the Raiders have really missed some bunnies in the first half and now here in the second half. And, when you're in the hole, when you're down, you got to get those to go.
Zach Johnson picks up his third. I will expect that after this first free throw, he'll go to the bench. Front rim, back rim, and down for Hildebrand. He's got 17. That cuts the lead to 5. And here comes Liam Doherty, actually replacing J.T. Doherty.
Nice performance by the Hudson Pep Band at halftime. Good to see them again. Always put on a great show.
Hildebrand hits the second. He's got 18. The lead has been cut to 4. A 7-0 run here from Hudson.
Well, I said it before, basketball is a game of momentum, swings, and runs, and Hudson's got the momentum, and they're on a nice little run. Close the gap after they fell down double digits early.
Feiereisen maintains the dribble. Bilsey comes out defensively. Now it's Vitt, watched by Dalton. Picks up the dribble, knocked away by Dalton out of bounds. It will remain with River Falls. 14:30 to play in the second half. 4-point lead for the Wildcats.
Happy holiday season to everybody. Feels like Christmas out, like winter.
It kind of does, actually.
I like it. I'm not sure everybody else does.
Johnson has it stolen away. Hildebrand dishes it off, and Bilsey able to keep it in, but gave it to Johnson. And now Mike Johnson in the double team. Back for Feiereisen, and he is fouled coming through the double team.
Hudson had the trap on there, down on the baseline. Now what's the booing about?
Peyton Reese picks up the foul. That's his third. He'll check out. Replaced by Mateo Renta.
There's another football name.
Yep. Vitt dribbles into the front court. Feiereisen into the lane, knocked free, but it went right to Vitt.
I like the defensive intensity.
And a timeout called before the 5-second call came.
Yep.
So River Falls, a 30-second timeout. Comes with 13:56 to play in the half, 34-30 Wildcats.
I'll say it again, Hudson has to really work because they're outsized. But a smaller team can beat a bigger team if you're just more aggressive, if you're pressuring the ball, shutting down the passing lanes, forcing turnovers, pushing it on transition, if you're able to hit the perimeter shots, get the big guys out in negating their advantage in the paint. You can email us here. I was going to say the booth. We're not really in a booth. We're up at the top of the bleachers here. And again, this is a production that's going to continue to grow and evolve. And sooner rather than later, we hope to have a multi-camera production with a camera on each of the walkways there, and then a mounted one where we have a stationary one there, and then the actual broadcast would be done on the walkways, would be out of the way, and you got a pretty good vantage point there with a little bit of a obstruction over in the far left. But anyway, it'll be quite an endeavor. I'm looking forward to it.
I like it. And for those of you that are in the area, just couldn't make it out tonight, certainly encourage you to come out and check out the new facility, check out the entire new campus. I'll call it a campus because this building has grown exponentially from what the old high school was.
And again, you can contact us here. Click on the Contact the Booth link below the video screen on HudsonBroadcast.com. You can let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for tonight, and thank you for spending your Friday with us.
Inbounds to Feiereisen. Picks up the dribble, gets it up top. Zach Johnson knocked out of his hands, so no traveling call there. Now comes back Johnson. Drops it down low. Stripped away, but it went right to Mike Johnson, who lays it in. He has 10 for River Falls.
Wildcats utilized their size that time.
Dalton thought about the three, goes right down
Beautiful
the middle
drive.
of the lane and lays it in.
Jacob Dalton had such a fine senior season in football. And continuing on the basket, Hudson's got the trap. Broke it.
Now Feiereisen goes all the way to the hole and lays it in.
That's the risk you run when you trap. If you breed it, you've got nobody back to defend.
38-32, River Falls. Hilterbrand gives it up. Bilsey drives in with the left hand.
There
He's
it is.
able to finish. First two of the night for Landon Bilsey. He had 15 the last time out for Hudson.
The scoring pace has definitely picked up here in the last 2.5, 3 minutes for both teams.
Again, the full court press from the Raiders. 38-34, River Falls. Raiders have to hurry here. Now they finally do get Mike Johnson. Going baseline, the shot from Terrell, no good. Knocked out of bounds. It remains with River Falls.
Well, Hudson's closed the gap to 4, 12:31 to go. I like the defensive intensity I've seen the last 5-6 minutes.
JT Doherty and Michael Tiffany check back in for River Falls. They replace Mike Johnson and Liam Doherty. Tiffany, the entry pass for Feiereisen. Kicks it out. Open three is off the front rim. No good from JT Doherty. Hudson the rebound. Bilsey quickly into the front court. Drives. Left hand gets it off the glass. Bilsey's got 4 straight for Hudson. The lead is down to 2 for River Falls.
And they're starting to spread the scoring around. It's not just Hilterbrand putting it in here. Bilsey and Dalton. I think Healy had one. Getting it done. Closing the gap.
Paul Sparstead and Charlie Neuenschwander check in for Hudson. Reese and Hilterbrand will get a breather. Oh, Healy nearly had the steal there, but stepped on the end line.
He was like a safety, just spying an interception on that one.
Zach Johnson quickly doubled. Goes cross court to Feiereisen. Tiffany out in front of everybody, but Feiereisen slows things down.
Hudson's definitely doing a lot of trapping tonight in the backcourt.
And a reach-in foul that time. Mateo Renta picks up his first foul of the evening. Each team with 3 fouls here in the second half. Inbounds. Spinning. And Doherty's shot. No good. Quickly into the front court. They swing around a long 3. Sparstad no good. Feiereisen will slow things down here for River Falls.
That would have that 3 would have dropped. It would have put Hudson ahead for the first time since early on.
Driving nice move. Adam Feiereisen goes up and under. the lead back to 4.
That's how you work a baseline.
Renta swings it out for Healy. Healy gives it up for Sparstad. Now up top, Dalton. Hands it off, Sparstad up top. Beautiful spin move and down the lane, just not able to finish was Neuenschwander. Now Doherty. Put the shoulder down, then hits the step back from 15.
Now the Wildcats are on a bit of a run, opening back up that lead after Hudson closed the gap.
Zach Johnson has 9. The Wildcat lead sits at 6. Healy drives on Feiereisen. And they're going to call Feiereisen on the block. His second. Team's 4th of this half.
Grandpa and Grandma Capegas says go Raiders and go Kaiser. Those listening in from Springfield, Missouri tonight. Remember them from football. Grandpa and Grandma, welcome back. Hope you enjoy the ability to watch your grandson this year playing basketball.
Kaiser just checked back into the game. He's got the ball now, and he'll give it up to Healy. Further out is Reese. Near side, Neuenschwander as Hudson quickly swings it back for Reese. Sparstad. Far side, Healy. Helterbrand for 3, front rim no good. Feiereisen the rebound for River Falls. We're under 10 minutes to play. 6-point Wildcats lead. Looking back, the last 4 times these two teams have played, the winning score has been in the 70s. We seem to be on target for that again tonight, as River Falls will be called for the over and back.
I like the sportsmanship there, helping your opponent up. Hudson needs a bucket here. They had momentum, and now River Falls has opened it back up. You don't need a 3, just a 2 will do.
Healy directing traffic. Gives it up for Bilsey. Sparstad on the far side. Now Healy. Watched by Feiereisen. Helterbrand. Up top, Sparstad, long 3 off the back rim, no good, but Helterbrand tracks down the offensive rebound, and they'll get a blocking foul there on Mike Tiffany. That's his 3rd.
Raiders showing a little more patience on that offensive possession than they had in the previous 2. You get for that open shot, and River Falls bunching in there in the lane.
Neuenschwander turns, tries to go down low, tipped away, knocked out of bounds. It will remain Hudson the possession.
Double team there in the paint.
Bilsey tries to drive baseline, cut off there by Johnson. Beautiful entry pass. Helterbrand with the finish. He has 20. 42-38 River Falls.
Fine game by the senior. Why was that not a carry? I don't know.
Vitt tiptoes the far sideline. Doherty back for Vitt. He drives in, kicks it out, and an offensive foul called on Vitt. Sparstad able to draw it.
Well, Barstad was stationary, and if the offensive player initiates contact against a stationary defender, by rule, that's an offensive charge.
That's the 3rd on Vitt.
I think he might come out. Yep, just did.
Mike Johnson and Liam Doherty.
Boy, they got some big
Check
kicks on
in.
that team.
Yeah, they do. Bilsey gets a Hilterbrand screen and gives it up to Hilterbrand. And a reach-in foul on Mike Johnson. That's his second. That's the team's seventh, so that'll send Hilterbrand to the line to shoot 1 and 1.
So we're in the bonus for the final 8:06. You see the fouls on your video screen as part of our new embedded scoreboard feature, and that is being fed right off the scoreboard. As far as the time and the score and the fouls, it's something new.
How great is technology nowadays? When it works.
For the price that was paid for it, it better work. Yeah. But it is fun because, especially in basketball more than any other sport, you have a lot. When you're doing it manually, which we did for years, it's a lot of inputting, and you see everything right there with the time and the score, and it's great.
Hilterbrand hits both. He's got 22. And Hudson back within 2, 42-40 Wildcats.
Is that trap again?
Vitt
wide open.
Kicks it out. And a smooth-looking left-handed jumper from Aaliyah Doherty. Pushes the lead back to 4.
Had that net make that nice swish sound.
Up top, long 3 off the back iron, no good. Rebound was cleared by Mike Johnson. Handoff here for Terrell. Terrell kicks it back out, stolen away. Peyton Reese. Layup no good, offensive rebound, and Bilsey lost it on the end line.
If the Raiders end up going down tonight, they've had at least 7 or 8 shots just like that, just not go down.
Terrell across the timeline, gives it up. Driving down the lane with the left hand, getting the finish is Zach Johnson. 3 Wildcats now in double figures. Long 3 from Hilterbrand, no good, back iron. Oh, it looked like perhaps it was going to be tied up, but instead they call the foul on Charlie Neuenschwander.
We do have some scores coming in. Eau Claire Memorial 34-25 over Rice Lake. Eau Claire North 50-48. Non-conference game against DC Everest. Big non-conference Big Rivers action. Rice Lake, boy, if they had a program. They might be down a little bit, but they had a run there of about five or 6 years where they were just the boss team. Henry Ellenson and a host of others. They got beat in the state championship game. I remember that. Ellenson, their big stud, got injured in the semifinal, and they ended up losing the final. But they had some great sectional final matchups with Onalaska like 3 years in a row, and they just tremendous run, 5 or 6 year run they had up there for the Rice Lake Warriors.
Timeout Hudson. It's a full timeout. Their first of the half. 46-40 our score, as you can see on your screen. River Falls leads it.
I am going to enjoy a nice eggnog when I get home.
And
sit
eggnog.
By the tree. And
it is the Christmas season, isn't it?
It is the Christmas season. And I got my Bing Crosby CD. The tree has been decorated for 2 weeks now. I love this time of year. Sweet Caroline. I tell you, this song gets played more now than when it came out in 1967. Have we ever been to a place where they haven't played this?
No.
It's a good song. It's just surprising that a 50-year-old song gets the amount of plays it does. There it is. The great Neil Diamond, no longer touring. Had a great run, though. There's that trap again.
They find Vitt. He brings it across the timeline. Now back. They swing it around.
Good baseline defense.
Terrell looking for some help. Hands it off for Zach Johnson. Johnson forced to pick up the dribble. Now Terrell off balance three, but he gets it to go.
Man.
Taylor Terrell now has 5 in the lead, is back to 9 suddenly for River Falls, just under 6 to play.
A crucial juncture here. We're under 6 minutes, and Hudson in danger of going down, back down double digits. That they need to strike on this possession.
Hilterbrand drives, couldn't finish, and the rebound cleared by Mike Johnson.
Good looking drive, he just couldn't draw iron.
Vitt, and his pass deflected out of bounds by Dalton. It'll be a River Falls throw in from underneath the basket.
Of course, in Wisconsin high school basketball, there is not a shot clock. They voted it in, and there was an uproar about it. So that 45-second graphic you see on the far right, that's actually for a shot clock that isn't being used.
Stolen away, Hilterbrand behind. Everybody
Slammer
goes
down.
in and lays it in. Kaiser Hilterbrand continues a dominating performance. He's got 24 for the Raiders.
They needed that.
Breaking the double team that time was Fireeisen.
They're gambling on that trap.
Again, the awkward looking three, but Terrell has knocked down a couple in a row. And the lead climbs to 10.
And Joe, is that about the same location he hit the previous one?
Yeah,
pretty close.
A little closer to the baseline, but yeah. Hilterbrand tries to back in, kicks it back. Dalton for three, rims around and out. Bilsey offensive rebound, can't get it to finish. And they'll say he was on the end line in possession. Ball goes to River Falls.
Just some of those crucial shots. When Hudson had made the runs in the past, those shots were going down, and they just had too many crucial misses here. It's still within reach, but running out of time, 4:49 to go.
Fireeisen across the timeline for River Falls. 4:40 to play. And I think they're going to call that foul on Bilsey. That's his third, 5th of the half on Hudson.
You got to pull out the defensive stops now.
Baseline inbounds here for River Falls. And back behind things to our right, we're going to clean up some wetness on the court prior to this River Falls throw, and that's what the delay is here. Substitution for Hudson with the delay, but Paul Sparstad will check in, replacing Landon Bilsey. A senior exchange there for Hudson. And foul prior to the shot.
It's going to put them one away from the bonus.
Hilterbrand picks up his second. Fireeisen does get it in. Johnson, baseline cut off by Healy. Kicks it out for Vitt. Up top for Fireeisen. Down low, Doherty. Into the lane. Goes up on Hilterbrand and gets it to drop.
Got that height advantage.
Team high 13 for JT Doherty. As now Healy drives down. His shot too strong, tapped out of bounds. River Falls basketball. Wildcats have their largest lead of the night, 54-42, and they are in possession with just over 4 minutes to play.
Oh, almost had a steal.
Sparstad went for the steal. Vitt kicks it out. Johnson up top. Fireeisen swings it near side now. Zach Johnson to the free throw line.
This is where I wish we had a shot clock. But
Feiereisen into the lane. Finally goes up with the left hand. No good. Gets his own rebound, and he's fouled. Going back up. Peyton Reese picks up his fourth for Hudson. Feiereisen to the line to shoot two.
Well, as we speculated would be the case, the Wildcats have done better in the paint, rebounding and whatnot. They are the bigger team. They've used it.
Reese goes to the bench with his 4 fouls. Charlie Neuenschwander checks in for Hudson. Feiereisen hits the second. He has 7 and all alone. Jacob Dalton lays it in. He hits double digits. He's got 10.
Like the aggressiveness there.
The lead at 11. Feiereisen steps through the double team. Up top, Vitt, watched by Sparstad. Gives it up for Terrell. Leans into Neuenschwander. Vitt on the far side. Helterbrand there defensively. Now picked up by Sparstad.
Well, you're almost to the point now where you got to play the foul game maybe if you don't get the turnover. They got it.
Stolen away, Helterbrand. Helterbrand goes in, avoids Feiereisen, and lays it in. Helterbrand with 26.
Ooh.
And a timeout taken by River Falls.
Yeah, you're going to have to play the foul game and hope they go cold from the line and get the steal. They got the steal that time. River Falls clearly will not be in a hurry to put up the shot and try to move the ball around. And, you know, that's kind of what it comes to sometimes. You got to play that foul game, and sometimes it works. And, you know, they go cold from the line. You push it in transition, knock back a couple threes, and all of a sudden the 10-point lead could, you know, shrink to 4 or 5 pretty quickly. But that's a best-case scenario. We'll see. They're going to go give it all they got here, down by 9.
That was a Hudson timeout following the made basket. 30-second timeout, so the team's coming back onto the floor. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Both teams are in the bonus, but not the double bonus, as each team has 7 fouls in the half. And the Raiders have gotten back to single digits, 55-46.
Got some good energy in here right now.
The baseball pass, and catching it and laid it in is J.T. Doherty.
Well, they tried to trap the inbounds. That freed somebody up all the way down.
Doherty with 15 leading the way for River Falls. One of 3 Wildcats in double figures here tonight. Entry pass knocked away from Helterbrand and knocked out of bounds by Doherty. Helterbrand got the step, just couldn't finish. Doherty the rebound, and into the front court is Zach Johnson. Feiereisen right at the timeline. Dalton tried for the steal. Feiereisen gives it up for Vitt. Back for Feiereisen.
Now you start playing the foul game.
That one called on Jacob Dalton. That's his first. Mike Vitt to the line to shoot 1-and-1 for River Falls. Minute 43 left to play in this one. Vitt misses it, and the rebound picked up by Healy. Helterbrand, the cutter is Healy. Can't get it to finish, got his own rebound, and he was fouled. Prior to the shot, I believe this will be a 1-and-1 for Healy.
Healy's got some good moves. He's only a sophomore. He did have some key misses tonight, but I like what I see. I like his hustle. And maybe he can knock down a couple here with the clock stopped.
Mike Vitt picks up the foul. That's his fourth on River Falls.
There it is.
Healy does hit the first. He has 6. The lead is at 10. And yeah, with a minute and a half left, definitely expect the fouls to come plenty plenty consistently here for Hudson as Healy misses the second. And the rebound, Feierheisen. Dribbles past Neuenschwander. Vitt playing with 4 fouls, and he is fouled by Sparstad. That's his second. A 1-and-1 opportunity for Mike Vitt, who has 2 points tonight.
Well, you just hope, again, it goes cold. You get the board, you go it down, knock back a 3. You got to do that multiple times. There it is.
No good. Sparstad the rebound. Hilterbrand hustles into the front court. Kick back out. Sparstad long 3. Got it. His first points of the night cuts the lead to 7 with a minute 10.
Well, the window of opportunity is only open to crack, but it hasn't shut.
Feierheisen down low. Vitt tries to go up. He got it to go, and he was fouled by Healy, his first.
That hurt. That hurt. Looks like River Falls has got a beach night theme over there, and Hudson's got the white. Nice crowd in shorts. Mind you, it's about 12 degrees outside.
Vitt completes the three-point play. He's got 5, the lead back to 10. Under a minute to play. Driving in, and Healy is fouled, and I believe that's going to be Vitt. That should take him out of the basketball game.
Yeah, I like this sophomore.
So Vitt is not going to go off the court until he's told, and finally he is.
He had a good game.
Mike Vitt fouls out with 5 points. Vitt, the 5'10" senior, replaced by Liam Doherty. Right now on the court for River Falls, 6'4", 6'5", 6'3", 6'8", and 6'8".
Yeah, they definitely got. They grew them big down there at River Falls the last few years. What's in the water down there? Yeah. I don't know.
Healy misses the first. Here comes the second. Front rim, back rim, and down. Healy has 7. Into the front court, Zach Johnson.
River Falls did a nice job dribbling out of that trap all night.
Johnson is fouled by Healy. River Falls now in the double bonus, so Zach Johnson will shoot 2 here for the Wildcats.
Looking around here, we must have 50 chords, but we got her done.
Hey, you got the right chords, though.
I guess.
Johnson hits the first. He has 12. JT Doherty leads the way for River Falls with 15. Zach Johnson has 12. Mike Johnson has 10. Terrell 8. Feierheisen 7. Johnson hits them both. The lead is 11. Hilterbrand for 3, no good. Rebound is cleared by Terrell, and he is fouled by Neuenschwander, his third.
Well, playing out the string here, of course, Hudson will have a chance to even this. They will play at River Falls. They don't have the schedule right in front of me, but they will have an opportunity to even that.
January 31st.
January 31st. That's a ways away.
Terrell hits the first. If he hits this one, he would be the 4th Wildcats player in double digits. And he misses. He's stuck on 9. Hilterbrand into the front court, gives it up for Healy. Long 3, Sparstad, no good. Offensive rebound, Hilterbrand drives and no good, but he was fouled. So Kaiser Hilterbrand going back to a very familiar spot tonight, the free throw line.
Another final that just came in, Eau Claire North. We talked about them, the defending Big Rivers Conference champions. They blew open what was previously a close game against DC Everest and walked away with a big win, 79-55, 9-conference game there. Eau Claire Memorial and Rice Lake in a low-scoring one. Actually, Rice Lake has pulled ahead, 34-28.
Hilterbrand purposely missed the second. Lane violation is called on Hudson. Hilterbrand with 27 tonight.
Yeah.
That's better than half of the Hudson points this evening.
Yeah, he did.
And another foul. We'll see if they get Healy or if they get Sparstad for that one. And it'll be Sparstad, his 3rd.
Pretty soon they're going to call off the dogs here and let this one just run out.
23.5 seconds left. The lead at 11. Zach Johnson at the line to shoot 2 for River Falls.
And Hudson, I believe, beat River Falls in hockey last night over in River Falls. The Wildcats evening that up.
Well, John, I don't know how many more initial contests, how many more arenas I can help you open over here in Hudson, but whenever I'm over here, it doesn't go well.
I see that. Well, that's all right. It's a long season.
Johnson hit 1 of 2. He's got 14. Healy able to hold it in. That rolled free, and jump ball is called. I can't see the arrow from here. It will remain with Hudson. Dalton's 3, no good. Fire Eyes in the rebound. He'll dribble it toward the front court, and that will do it. The River Falls Wildcats defeat the Raiders tonight by a final score of 64-52. A game that, we mentioned it a couple times, John, basketball, a game of runs and momentum swings, and Hudson just couldn't quite ever get over the hump. They fell behind early, and tried as they might, they just couldn't get over the hill there, and dropped this one 64-52 tonight. 0-1 now in conference play, 2-1 overall.
Well, they needed to rebound better. They had some of those 3-4 foot shots, multiple players that really needed to go down, particularly when the Wildcats were opening up the gap that just didn't go down. But Hilterbrand had a tremendous game. I think he's going to have a great season. And credit River Falls. They're a big team. They're an athletic team, and Hudson, to their credit, they closed the gap multiple times. But what good teams do is when the opponent gets up to them, you kind of respond and you go into that higher gear and you bump the lead back up. But I like what I saw in terms of defensive intensity, particularly in the second half, forcing some turnovers and trying to negate the clear height advantage that the Wildcats had tonight. But I like what I saw at Hudson. This is a team that's going to win more than they're going to lose this year, I'll tell you that. But this River Falls team, if they play like they did tonight and look at the talent and young talent, they're going to be one of the contenders as well for this Big River Conference Championship this year. Yeah,
I think their height, their length defensively, just too much for Hudson to overcome here tonight. And they could go 6'8", 6'8", 6'5" across the front. And Hudson's got nobody over 6'4" on the roster this season. So certainly a tall order, pardon the pun there. But Wildcats made it pay off tonight. Hudson, very few offensive rebounds, very few second chances tonight. And as you mentioned, just too many misses from in close tonight. And who knows, could have been a much different outcome if they hit all those shots from within 5 feet of the basket.
Well, I think Raiders need to box out better. I mean, that's when you're the shorter team, you have to be aggressive boxing out. And, multiple times tonight River Falls really had very easy second and even third chances because a free guy. Hudson gambled on the trap several times and was able to trap the Wildcats in the far corner, but somebody was able to get out, and they did a nice job dealing with that full court press and, again, trying to up the tempo a little bit. And they pushed the ball in transition fairly well. They also had some pretty good looks at threes, and they went through a spell there where they just couldn't get one to go down when they in crucial spots when they really needed to stem the tide. And give River Falls credit. They were the better team tonight, come out with a double-digit win.
Wildcats with the victory tonight, improved to 1-1 in conference play. They are now also 2-1 overall. For Hudson, they will try to get back on the horse. Next Friday night, it won't get much easier as they travel out to Eau Claire to take on Eau Claire North. That is set for 7:15 next Friday night. They'll make a trip out to Chippewa Falls a week from a Tuesday before they're back home to take on the Old Abe's of Eau Claire Memorial 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, we'll have the girls on a week from tonight, and then we'll have the boys, like you said, Eau Claire Memorial, and two weeks from now, and then the Christmas break. They got some holiday tournaments, and hope everybody enjoys a nice holiday break. This is a great time of year, and Joe, thank you for coming on board, and hopefully this is the first of many games we can do together and grow this basketball broadcasting.
Yeah, amen. Thanks, everybody, for spending your Friday night with us. Unfortunately, we can't bring you good news as Hudson drops this one 64-52 this evening to River Falls. And now for John Wecken, my name is Joe Moore. Good night, everybody.